first time you've been up on this show. You have been in on Christy's show
Correct.
previously. So give us a bit of information about yourself. We've just been discussing off there about how everybody on the Isle of Man is famous because everybody knows everything about everyone.
Yeah.
So go on, give us your 5 minutes about you.
Oh, yeah, well, just basically, I've been putting out music and DJing for over 20 years. It's taken me sort of various parts of the globe, really. I played in America, around Europe and around the UK. Obviously, I'm a DJ, but I produce music as well, and I've run different record labels over the last sort of 20 years. So it's been an exciting journey for me. Still love my music and still putting stuff out. So I had something out this week, actually. So that's quite nice. So it's nice to come on the show.
And you've put a mix together for us this evening, which will play out a bit later on the show. And it's all your own stuff as well, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. I mean, obviously, I work with other producers. Yeah, there's a track that was out recently. Well, actually, there was a 2-part release called Afterlife with another local DJ producer called Steve McGrath. So we'd not had a track out for quite a number of years. So that was released on a record label in America. So that's a mix of that is on the mix I put together, plus a track called Digital Life with a guy called Ranj Keller, who's a DJ at Stringfoes in London, and I did a collaboration with him, and there's a couple other things on there as well. So yeah, it's quite, some of the tracks we put out are sort of 7 minutes, 8 minutes. So to get like a hot mix of under 15 minutes was a challenge, but I managed to get 4 tracks in there plus some samples as well. So it's nice.
And with your own music as well, how can people get hold of that?
Sure, yeah, it's just on all the digital platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Beatport, Juno Download. I've got a couple of SoundCloud pages that I put all my DJ mixes up there. So Soundscapes Digital is like my project, music project. So you've got the SoundCloud page, Soundscapes Digital and Chris Stereo. I've got like a YouTube channel as well with a bit of footage of some of the gigs I played in the summer down on Port Erin Beach for the Deep South Festival. So loads of stuff around there. Facebook, Chris Stereo Music, Facebook, Soundscapes Digital. So hopefully that's enough to be going on with.
And of course, you're not just a DJ, are you? We've just been talking about this off air as well. You've got about 20 different jobs.
Well, yeah, I've got various jobs. I work at Castle Rushing High School as well. So some teaching, some coaching, some work in mental health there, and various other things like I've run a DJ club there, and I run the chess club and things like that. So yeah, and I do like various coaching around the sort of south, the Castletown hockey, Colby football, and previously Castletown cricket as well. So yeah, and work with Chris Carr and the Deep South Festival, some of the events there. So lots of things I'm up to. I'm always busy. So
and of course, with the Chris Carr and the Deep South Festival, they have 2 kind of big events coming up as well, don't they?
That's it, yeah. So the stuff there at Tower House. So I know Chris has been trying to get those going for a while, and because of COVID and restrictions and that kind of stuff, that's been hard for him. But hopefully, it's finally going to go ahead. So that's good, yeah.
Because I put myself a bit on the spot here. I know they're October and it's Top Loader and Space, but I don't know the actual dates.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, if you check on the Tower House website or the Deep South Facebook, that the precise dates will be on there. So, yeah, I mean, Space had been over previously. They're playing at the Deep South Festival at Colby a few years back, but now they're back again, so that's good. So those 2 acts are well known, and hopefully the ticket sales will go well, and people will be up for a night out after all the sort of stop-start like lockdowns and all the rest that we've had. So
and this is the thing, it has been hard on so many people, DJs as well, when you've had gigs planned and they get cancelled and they're postponed, and actually, it's just making people's lives just very, very difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a tough 18 months for a lot of artists. Especially those who are trying to do it full time, and those who probably got a good full time income, maybe seeing their income like cut in half, especially when they rely on gigs. So it's really tough, and really tough on artists' mental health as well, because some of them are so tied into the whole process of it and love the process of making music. But unfortunately, bills have to be paid, and if you put your heart into a music project and you've got nothing behind you in terms of another income, it can be really difficult. So it's I just say out, that all the people putting music out, they could suddenly just decide that they weren't going to, and they have to reprioritize their life. So it's trying to enjoy the people who are putting music out, because you just don't know when they're going to stop. So it's any positive feedback for any of the artists on Ireland or across the world, they'll genuinely appreciate that, because it keeps them inspired.
And I think this is it. And we will talk to you a bit later on about what actually inspires you with your music, especially as you mixes all your own stuff. Sure. And also, I'm going to ask you about your DJ club a bit later on the show as well for the kids at Castle Rushen, because I love that idea.
Yeah. I'm not running at the moment, but I have in the past. It's just sometimes I've run or worked on so many different clubs. It's hard to keep them all going. But I did do I did a module as part of a ASDAN course with a student called Harrison Guy, and so that was good. We basically, one of his modules, I taught him how to DJ. So, and then we put a couple of the mixes on SoundCloud. So that was nice.
Cool.